Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the corporate world one filing at a time. Today we're diving into Amneal Pharmaceuticals' latest report. Get ready because this report has a few surprises, some good, some maybe not so good, but definitely interesting. We are looking at a Form 8K filed by Amneal Pharmaceuticals on May 20, 2025. This report gives us a snapshot of their first quarter results for the year. These reports come out a few times a year and is the company's way to keep investors up to date on anything that can affect them. The main point of this report is to share how Amneal Pharmaceuticals did in the first quarter of the year. So that's what we're going to focus on. Think of it like a report card, except instead of grades, we're looking at dollars and cents. The company put out a press release sharing their results for the first 3 months of 2025. Companies often use press releases to highlight the good news, so we'll dig a little deeper to see the whole picture. We are going to focus on financials, which is what a 8K usually focuses on. Also, Amneal had a conference call and a live webcast to discuss the results that happened May 2, 2025. We won't be listening in, but it's good to know they're talking to investors. Before we get to the numbers, just a quick note that the report was signed off by Anastasios Kornidaris, the Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer, which is basically the person in charge of money, so he knows what he's talking about. FD now, let's move on to the numbers. To see the full press release, we would look at the Exhibit 99.1 linked here. But let's dive into the financials, shall we? Kai won't bore you with every single detail, but I will talk about the important parts. Let's look at the highlights from this report. First off, let's talk about revenue, which is essentially the total amount of money Amneal brought in. For the first quarter of 2025, their net revenue was around $582 million. Next up, gross profit. This is the money left over after subtracting the cost of making their products. Amneal's gross profit for the quarter was approximately $222 million. You can think of it as the money left after you've paid for all the ingredients to bake a cake, but before you pay for the oven or the electricity. Now, for the tricky part. The report states there was a net loss attributable to Amneal of about $18 million. A net loss means the company spent more money than it earned during the quarter. So Amneal had sales of over $500 million, but they still ended up losing money. How does that work? Well, it means their expenses were higher than their income. This could be due to a variety of reasons such as research and development costs, marketing expenses, or maybe some one-time charges. To understand the numbers, one of the key metrics is the adjusted EBITDA, which is a way to measure a company's overall financial performance without getting bogged down in the details of accounting. Amneal is reporting adjusted EBITDA of $158 million. This is down from last year. Looking forward, the company is expecting revenue of around $2.3 billion and $2.4 billion. So what's the story here, Contraps and Sabin? On one hand, Amneal is a large company with significant revenues. They're selling a lot of drugs and bringing in a lot of cash. However, they're also losing money overall. This suggests that they're facing some challenges in terms of controlling costs and maximizing profits. Maybe they're investing heavily in new products, or maybe they're dealing with increased competition. Also, it sounds like the company is expecting similar results for the rest of the year, which would mean not much growth. Overall, Amneal is a mixed bag. They have a strong presence in the pharmaceutical market, but they need to find ways to improve their profitability. Now, for my take on this, Amneal is at an interesting crossroads. The generics and specialty pharma spaces are competitive, but also present huge opportunities. For companies that can execute well, I think they need to laser focus on a few key areas, such as paying down debt. One notable risk here is always the regulatory environment. Drug pricing and approvals are constant uncertainties in this industry. In conclusion, Amneal is a company with potential, but they need to navigate some challenges to unlock that potential. I think they need to stay alert and make sure they don't keep repeating those losses. Thanks for watching. If you found this analysis helpful, please like, comment and subscribe for more corporate deep dives. Let me know what company you want me to decode next.